Welcome back to Notes Edition, where I read notes off of my phone. Today's note is called Bitcoin as Pristine Capital. Imagine buying a brand new house in 1950 for $20,000. Decades go by and nature has taken its toll on the house. Vines have taken over the front porch, the paint is chipped and faded, and the roof is missing countless shingles. And yet somehow, decades later, the property is worth $300,000. How does that happen? Clearly, the house has decreased in quality, so why is the nominal valuation so much higher? As you might imagine, the simple answer is inflation. Demand for property has increased, but not nearly in proportion to the increase of currency supply. It goes to show that assets, even failing dilapidated ones with termites, easily outpace the dollar for storing value over the course of a decade or more. The house got worse, but the dollar got worse even faster. Instead of using a house as a store of value, what if you had a form of economic wealth that stayed exactly the same no matter how long you owned it? That brings us to the idea of pristine capital. Pristine capital doesn't fade or fall apart. It doesn't require maintenance. Pristine capital needs minimal management, but because it is pristine, it holds high value and requires a high level of security and protection. Fortunately for us, we've landed on Bitcoin as pristine capital. It doesn't rust or erode its purchasing power. In fact, the longer it's held, the more exponential the value accrual. Bitcoin is easy to store and secure. In fact, the underlying network itself, the Bitcoin blockchain, has shown to be virtually unhackable. Its security model actually encourages hacking the blockchain and has a budget to reward hackers. It's called Bitcoin mining. This creates an anti-fragile honeypot for hackers to where if you want to hack Bitcoin, you must get in line and spend endless resources to hack any value out of the system. Aside from its network security features, it makes encryption available to anyone. Even Bitcoin's cheapest storage options are fairly secure and affordable for the average person. Anyone with a decent security routine remains relatively safe. Basically, just don't share or lose the keys to your Bitcoin wallet. Leveling up security with a hardware wallet can be done for under $100, which is like buying a digital vault. The barrier to entry for the Bitcoin ecosystem is significantly reducing year after year, allowing everyday individuals to outpace the percentage returns of massive hedge funds with the power of advanced encryption at their fingertips. Bitcoin is pristine. It is a digital stake in the fastest growing asset class in human history. No erosion of property value, repairs, taxes, insurance. It's relatively cheap to store and is fairly easy to manage. It's a form of capital that is best left alone for decades with plenty of runway to compound in dollar value at an exponential rate. Before the internet, the most pristine form of capital was gold. Gold was dense, lightweight enough to transport, and served as proof of coordinated effort, proof of mining and minting something rare and highly sought after. Gold as an element is a pristine form of energy that can't be created or destroyed, which keeps its supply scarce relative to other forms of value that can be easily increased during periods of high demand. Aside from being more compatible for payments over the internet, Bitcoin is also arguably more scarce than gold because as demand increases, its emission rate or the availability of new supply actually decreases. When gold is in high demand, we can speed up and expand mining operations to reliably increase gold supply to meet that increased demand. When Bitcoin is in high demand, The network automatically adjusts the difficulty of mining Bitcoin to achieve a uniform rate of inflation of 3.25 Bitcoin released every 10 minutes. Every 4 years, this new supply inflation rate, also known as the 10-minute block reward paid out to Bitcoin miners, gets cut in half. So instead of new demand being met with increased supply, as with the gold economic model, increased demand is continually met with dwindling supply. This parameter is encrypted within the entire Bitcoin ecosystem, leading people to believe that the future supply will get even more scarce, which only creates more new demand and creates a feedback loop of exponential price increases year over year. Once real estate investors realize they can double or even triple their typical return on investment and simultaneously reduce their maintenance costs by 90% by liquidating real estate into Bitcoin, there will be a tectonic shift in wealth allocation. In the coming decades, crypto assets could balloon into a $100 trillion industry. Every single person in every civilization is subconsciously seeking pristine capital, a way to preserve their energy, to easily store their savings somewhere safe. Billions of people will find Bitcoin as that simple solution over the next 10 to 20 years. The question of exactly when is up to each individual. And that's today's note.